Redditors, what started off as a small lie, but then snowballed into, this is my life now. My freshman year of college, I was walking around campus when a very friendly looking girl waved at me. I'm awkward, so of course I waved back. The next week, the same thing. This began the weirdest saga of my life. For the next 2 years, we greeted each other as old friends every time we came across the other. She knew my name. Somehow, I never could figure hers out and it was way too late to ask. I just pretended I knew who she was and why she knew me. Finally, I joined the honors program and entered my classes for my thesis. Who should be in this class but mystery girl? I was horrified. I wouldn't be able to pass it off anymore. First day of class, we are all sitting there chatting and she greets me by name. Again, I had finally learned her name from attendance. Thank God. Someone asks, finally, oh, so do you two know each other? Where do you meet? Silence. I stare at her. She stares at me. Finally she breaks down wailing. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we've just been waving at each other for 2 years, and it was too late to ask. She's standing in my wedding next spring as one of my bridesmaids, and very best friends. Here is my theory, you guys were best friends, but someone went back in time and accidentally caused you guys to never meet. Fortunately, enough of the universe was able to bleed over, so she remembered you and your name, but not why. You guys are so perfect as friends, that this little bit was enough to fix the timeline, preventing an apocalypse, or something like that I'm sure. Told a small lie to a girl I was texting, that I love running. Dunno how it sold, because I was fat. Started running the second after I sent that. 5 years later, I went from 298 to 180. Not bad. You dumbass. You should have told her you were a billionaire. Just kidding. Good job on the running. But seriously, a billionaire would have been better. Told a small lie to a girl I was texting, that I am a billionaire. Dunno how it sold, because I was broke as F. Started earning money the second after I sent that. 5 years later, I went from a bank balance of $140 to $1.8 billion. Not bad. Somebody thought I was Jewish, and I didn't want to correct them because I hate confrontation. So now everyone in the school thinks I'm Jewish, and my homeroom got me a Passover card, signed by everyone. My brain told me it was time to stop, but I didn't want to ruin the thought of the gesture. Your senior yearbook quote should be, I'm not really Jewish. In high school, I pretended to be Jewish to get out of gym class. They did this insanity training 3 times per week. Basically, I told the clueless instructor I was an Orthodox Jew, and that on Fridays and Mondays I could not do hard physical work. He believed me, and I never did anything for 2 years. Just watched. Edit. When my younger brother got to high school, I told him what I did, and he continued the family tradition. I became friends with one of the managers at Panera. One day, as I was giving a cashier my order, he told her to give me the same discount as they give to firemen, police, and paramedics. I think he just chose this discount, as it was an easy button to push on the register. Well, this cashier really thought I was a fireman. I'm not. So for the next 2 years this cashier gave me the discount. Even if she wasn't serving me, she would go out of her way to tell the cashier that was helping me. He's a fireman. Give him the discount. It snowballed into such an awkward situation that I didn't know how to get out of it. Luckily, that cashier eventually transferred to another store, and I now happily pay full price. One day you're going to be just walking down the street, and there's going to be an apartment fire, and this girl is going to run up to you. Oh, thank God you're here. Please save my baby. I can't. I'm not wearing my costume. I was dating a girl, and I met her parents. I was a freshman in college seeking my physics degree. When I met her dad, he asked me why in the world I would go into physics when it is a difficult field to get work in. Thinking on the spot I said, yeah, I've thought about that too, and I've decided to switch to mechanical engineering. Welp, I'll be getting my mech engineering degree this May. Edit. To answer some questions that have been coming up. 1. Yes, I know what potatoes are. 2. No, I broke up with her. 3. Yes, I'm very happy with my decision to switch to engineering. Props to you for following through on that. This could have gone south if he was seeking mech engineering and tried to impress her dad by saying arts major. My mother was a super control freak, so one of the ways I would avoid home was after school extracurriculars. I got the date wrong on a math team meeting, so I lied to my mom about it while actually attending the debate team intro meeting. I probably didn't need to lie, but it was always safer to not disrupt her precious schedule. Eventually, debate became a regular activity for me to avoid home. In 3 years, I was a state semi-finalist, and in college, I coached the high school national champions and turned that into a free ride for a master's degree. Dang, when I lie, I just get beat. Good job. I have one. A good friend of mine did not have an umbrella on a very rainy day. One of her co-workers offered her a lift home. One lift home turned into 2, then 3, until he was shuttling her to and from work every day for months. This co-worker is also a very good baker. He would make these lovely cakes and pastries and offer them to her, which she politely took every day. Then one afternoon, on her way home, he stops and picks up his parents. He happily introduces her as his girlfriend. She was shocked by this title, to say the least. They proceeded to invite her to a family gathering over the long weekend to meet everyone. His parents, they were so nice. She accepted because she didn't have the heart to embarrass the guy. She went to the gathering, met with other family members, and he kept introducing her as his girlfriend. She never worked up the nerve to correct or stop him. Long story short, they are now married. Edit. I did not expect this type of response for this story. I will address some of your questions. Yes, this is a very real story. The man is incredibly socially awkward. He liked his co-worker for a long time, so driving her home and baking cakes was his way of working up the nerve to talk to a pretty girl. TLDR. Kidnap someone until they love you. I moved to a new city when I was in 6th grade, and on the same day I started, 2 other boys started and they both knew how to skateboard, so I lied and said I did too. Then for months I lied about being able to skateboard to them and other kids at the school, and I never came clean, because I didn't want anyone to call me a poser. So I bought skater boy clothes and a skateboard, and learned how to skateboard, because I lied about knowing how to skateboard. Still skating since then. I'm 27 now. An electrician came and priced up a job at our rental property. He greeted me with, "Hi, Ian. I've come to price some work up." I replied, "Yep, that's me. My name is not Ian. It's not even close to Ian." I was too British to correct him with his error, so I just went along with it. It's not the worst lie I've ever come out with. In my head I'm thinking, at worst the guy is just going to call me Ian again when he leaves. He was in my flat for a good 20 minutes, calling me Ian during conversations we had. Not once did I correct him, just stayed in character as Ian. Weeks went by and he eventually came back to do the work at the flat. My missus and me had the day off. I had forgotten about the whole Ian thing until that day, so I explained to her that if she talked to me that day, to call me Ian. It's just easier. Once, my boyfriend's mom asked me if I liked their bathroom soap. It's lavender. I don't like lavender, but I decided to tell her. I love it. It smells so good. Now I have an endless supply. She buys me some all the time. It's too sweet to tell her the truth, so I just keep it to myself and use the mediocre smelling soap. Oh well, this is how I live now. I was having a rough time commuting too far for work for a few months. Decided to quit to find something closer to home, but told everyone I had been approved to work from home. When I went to give my 2 weeks, my manager asked, "I know the driving has been killing you. How would you feel about working from home?" Work laptop to my left and watching Great British Masterclass as I type. Been working at home since then. Truthfully, this is an important lesson. Your boss can't help you if they don't know what's important to you. Ask for what you want. I told my parents I bought a duck when I was 20 to tease them. I found a picture online of one and sent it to them. Sadly, they believed me. They got overly excited about their grand duck and told my whole family. I ended up buying a duck